When we hear the word Atlantis today, images of vanished cities, sunken palaces, ancient wisdom, and the death of a great civilization come to mind. But where did this legend come from? And why does it still haunt us? The story of Atlantis first appears in the works of Plato, the great philosopher of ancient Greece. In the dialogues Timaeus and Critias, he tells of a powerful state that existed thousands of years before his time, a civilization that owned vast territories, possessed untold riches, and perished in one terrible day and night. Atlantis sank into the sea, the earth shook, the waters rose, and the state, great and powerful, disappeared, leaving behind only an impassable sea. But Plato did not claim to have invented this story. He referred to the story of his great-great-grandfather Solon, one of the greatest legislators of Greece. According to Plato, Solon learned about Atlantis during his travels in Egypt. And he heard this story, not just anywhere, but in the temple of the goddess Night, in the ancient city of Sais. It was there, among the columns covered with ancient writings, that the Egyptian priests told Solon about a great power that existed long before the first dynasties of Egypt, about the continent beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which fell victim to a terrible disaster. These priests claimed that Atlantis existed 9,000 years ago before the time of Solon. If you recalculate, we are talking about 12,000 years ago, a time that coincides with the end of the last ice age, and the time of the mysterious Great Flood mentioned in many myths of the peoples of the world. But how could the Egyptian priests know about such ancient events? What sources did they have? There is a version that in ancient times there were archives, huge repositories of knowledge, recorded on stone tablets, in encrypted texts, possibly lost over time. Plato mentions that Egyptian scrolls kept the history of the distant past, destruction, catastrophes, cycles of floods and rebirths. If you believe these stories, the Sahara, which we know today as an endless desert, was completely different in the past. Indeed, modern research confirms. 12,000 years ago, the Sahara was humid, rich in vegetation. And thousands of years later, during the so-called Green Sahara about 7,000 years ago, rivers flowed here again, forests rustled, herds grazed. What if the Egyptian priests really kept memories of two different eras? About the first, a perished, highly developed civilization that disappeared in the Great Flood. And about the second, a more modest wave of life that returned to the Sahara after thousands of years of desert. Perhaps, in the memory of ancient peoples, the legends of Atlantis were not just myths. Perhaps these are echoes of real catastrophes that occurred long before the emergence of writing. Fragments of lost knowledge about worlds, erased by time. And if today we are looking for Atlantis, among the stones of the Sahara, among the traces of ancient rivers, and mysterious drawings on the walls, perhaps we are continuing the same journey for truth that Solon began, and through him, Plato himself. And perhaps some of the answers are already before us. We just need to be able to listen, see, feel, and remember. The greatest secrets of the world are often hidden in plain sight. This November 2025, join us on an expedition to the eye of the Sahara. Walk the ancient rings, touch the mystery, and see for yourself what may be the lost Atlantis.